Välkomna hit in Swedish. That means welcome. And my Finnish is still not good enough, even though I have a daughter in Helsinki, so I say welcome. Dear Petteri, dear Ursula, most welcome to Stockholm, and thank you both for being here. And not least, thank you, Ursula, for accepting our common invitation. And once again, thanks for very rewarding cooperation during the Swedish presidency. I really appreciated your hands-on leadership. Thank you. Last year, when Ursula was here in Sweden, we actually visited the Spaceport S-Range in Kiruna. I don't think you have forgotten that. That is mainland EU's first facility for launching satellites. And last night at 10 o'clock and I think 10:51 or something, 10:49, we were both watching, I guess. Marcus Wandt, the Swedish astronaut, went to space, and all of Sweden is very, very proud of what he is doing for all of us right now. Today we have been discussing the big strategic issues on the EU agenda, or perhaps how to make EU safer, greener and freer, as we used to put it during the presidency. On security, EU support to Ukraine must remain robust, substantial and long-term for as long as it takes. Countries like Sweden and like Finland are among those countries who fully understand that geography matters in geopolitics. February 1st, we will meet again in the European Council to try to reach a united decision on Europe's long-term economic support to Ukraine. To be able to keep a strong US commitment, it's obvious that also the EU needs to stay very firm and committed. Today we also discussed the European competitiveness and the green transition, and forestry. Forestry makes EU stronger and more resilient and more prepared to tackle the combination of climate-related problems. But forestry also boosts our competitiveness by providing sustainable raw materials, renewable energy, and is an important part of the highly innovative industry in Sweden and in Finland. So allow me briefly to make the Swedish case. Forestry stands for around 10% of all Swedish exports. Along with Finland, that's more than other countries in the Union. Forestry is also one of the core industrial competencies that make both Sweden and Finland role models in the green transition. We can deliver what most countries cannot. We strongly support European cooperation, and we do believe in level playing fields, but we also know that there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to forestry. The preconditions for forestry in different member states are simply too diverse. Renewable materials from forestry provide fossil-free alternatives. We saw this very first-hand today during our visit to the Biomaterials Innovation Lab at the Swedish-Finnish company Stora Enso. They demonstrated wood-based alternatives to graphite in battery production, thereby combining forestry with cutting-edge technology for electrification. This is big. Sweden is ready to do our part in reaching the climate goals, obviously, but to do so we need EU policy that supports this development. The regulatory framework needs to acknowledge sustainable forestry as an asset in the green transition. I hope the discussions we've had today can provide a foundation for future EU policy, for example, in the upcoming strategic agenda for the next term. Every member state in the EU obviously has its own core competencies, earned sometimes since centuries. Forestry is one of ours. So, once again, thanks for today's constructive discussions, and I look forward to continue them. Over to you, Petteri.